Martin Luther and the Reformation.
Martin Luther was a German monk who disagreed with the Catholic Church's teachings. In 1483, Martin Luther was born in Germany. During Martin Luther's childhood, he was physically abused by his parents. When Martin Luther was older, he became a monk in the Catholic Church.
He soon realized that the Catholic teachings were incorrect. He strongly disagreed with the Church selling indulgences, which means that they were selling forgiveness. For example, if someone lied, they would have to pay a fine in order to be forgiven. He decided to write the 95 Theses, which were 95 arguments against the sale of indulgences. He then posted these theses on the Catholic Church's door. The Catholics didn't like this, and they excommunicated him, which meant they kicked him out of the church. And they would have executed him if they had caught him.
This is called the Protestant Reformation. A Protestant Reformation means Luther was protesting to reform the church. Reform means change, so Luther wanted to change the way the church was. The leaders of the Reformation were John Calvin and Martin Luther. John Calvin also used to be a priest who turned against the teachings.
The printing press was essential to the Protestant Reformation. It printed pamphlets of the 95 Theses and Luther's version of the Bible. It also helped people to realize that they could learn for themselves. And back then, people didn't used to have books or pamphlets to help Martin Luther spread his ideas.
Today, there is the Protestant branch of Christianity and the Catholic branch of Christianity. There are 1.2 billion Catholics and 800 million Protestants worldwide. There are lots of differences between the Protestants and Catholic groups. Martin Luther believed there should be less requirements and that the church should be less strict and sacred.
Martin Luther is a man of the Renaissance. He is called this because he made the church more newer and more improved. He was able to do this because he wasn't afraid to think for himself and not what the church thought. The Renaissance was a time of improvement and learning and thinking for yourself. Martin Luther was an important man of the Renaissance.
Martin Luther wasn't afraid to stand up for what he thought was right. Because of what Luther did, there are now 800 million Protestants in the world.